guys, we are on day 5 of our Christmas devotion. I've changed how I'm sitting because I was tired of sitting in the floor. And if you've watched the previous ones, you know I was sitting in the floor. I am going to be talking about day 5, and He came to love. And the scripture, one of them today, is Isaiah 9:6. His name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father of Eternity, Prince of Peace. That's the Amplified Version. And that has been the one we've been talking about the last couple days. So she talks about how that whenever her and her husband had first become youth pastors, that they had all these big dreams about how they were going to turn these children into mighty warriors for God. They were going to help them and all of these things. And whenever the kids would come in and they would start talking, and they would start talking about how that God was the everlasting Father, that some of these kids would look at them like, really? Who cares? Because they didn't have good relationships with their fathers. They didn't have fathers at home. Some of them didn't even, their dads weren't even there. I've never experienced the situation where I didn't have a good daddy. My daddy was I had a great relationship with him. Now, my parents did divorce before I was a year old, but he was always in my life. So I can't say that I can't relate a good father to God, because, you know, I did have that, but I know not everybody does. I know that 2 of my younger sisters did not have a good daddy, and I know what they went through. He was just never there. Still isn't. And so they didn't have the experience of having that, and I can understand by living with them and seeing their pain, not exactly from my experience, but from seeing their pain, how hard it is for some to equate a good father to anyone. It's hard to see that there's such a thing. But Isaiah, before Jesus was ever even born, had said that he would be a good father, an everlasting father. So, if you've never experienced the love of a true father, think about what you think a good father is and multiply that by 1,000,000, and that's God. Because he's the best. There's nothing better. So, it says, for some of these kids, they symbolized abandonment and pain. Fathers symbolize abandonment and pain. For others, their dads were just a non-entity, an empty wasteland where their real relationship should have been. So it can be very hard for them. So she goes on to say, I love the name Everlasting Father because it tells me that when God came to us as a baby, he came to stay. He is committed to loving us in the good times, the battle times, and on into the forever times, everlasting, from Isaiah 9 to the far reaches of eternity. He is our Father, and he is good. On the most difficult day of my battle, I run for refuge to Deuteronomy 1. This is verses 30 and 31. This is the English Standard Version. I'm not going to look it up in my Bible, but I could. But I'm just not going to, because I like the English Standard Version too. The Lord your God, who goes before you, will himself fight for you, just as he did for you in Egypt before your eyes and in the wilderness, where you have seen how the Lord your God carried you as a man carries his son, all the way that you went until you came to this place. He's carrying you all the way through all the battles. As we look at the days of Advent ahead of us, the songs, the lights, the silver bells, we can trust that we are not alone. We are not orphaned or abandoned. No matter how hot our fight, he came to be our Father forever. He came to us when we can't face another Christmas party or open another greeting card or wrap another gift. He is our steady, strengthening dad, holding our hands, lifting us up when our legs buckle beneath us and our hearts feel fragile and worn. He loves and cares and sees who we will be when the battle is in the history books. I'm so thankful for his everlasting, never fading, always perfect love. So we can look to him. He's there. And any semblance of what you might think a father should be. He is more, so much more. It says, finding hidden hope. Sit by some twinkling Christmas lights with your journal. If you don't want to sit by some twinkling Christmas lights, maybe buy an electric fireplace, or some sort of a real fireplace if you have one, if you are that blessed, or a gas fireplace if you have that, whatever, some kind of moving light, I guess. Or just don't at all, it's up to you. And make a list of the best qualities in a good dad, what you would think. Read over the list and know that it pales in comparison to the ways the everlasting Father loves and cares for you. That list is nothing compared to what he does for you. I mean, Jesus came and died for us. He hung on a cross for us. He suffered before that. He was beaten. He was mocked. He was ridiculed. He was spat upon. It pales in comparison to what a good father is. And through this hard time, through the hard seasons of life, if you're going through hard seasons during this time, he's there. He's a good father. You might not be going through a hard season in your life. Maybe someone you know is. Maybe you can help them through these little devotions I'm trying to do every day. I'm not saying I'm doing the best in the world, but I'm trying to bring a little bit of light and hope to you. Just stay in your word. Stay in prayer. Find a prayer partner. That's really a great thing to do. Find someone who pray with you, pray for you, and who will listen to you without judgment, without blame, without any sort of advice even. Maybe sometimes you just want to talk. Maybe you need to vent. Not saying that you need to just scream and yell about the things that are going wrong in your life, but maybe you need to tell somebody, hey, I'm having a hard time. I need you to pray for me. You know, that kind of thing. Maybe you need somebody to look up some scriptures for you because you don't have the strength to do it yourself, and they can do that for you. But that is today's little devotion. I hope that it made some sense. I hope you enjoyed it. And find the hidden hope. Wherever it's at, find the hidden hope. So, I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I do appreciate it. And if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. If you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.